and welcome to this quick lesson continuing our Adobe Premiere Pro lessons. Last time we gave a little bit of an overview of Adobe Premiere, so check out that tutorial if you haven't seen it yet. Today I just want to talk to you about starting a project and what to keep in mind when choosing settings and all that stuff. So when you open up Adobe Premiere Pro, I'm using CS 5.5, but really whatever CS you're using, it's going to be about the same. The new versions of Premiere Pro and the older ones might have different effects, or the buttons might be a little bit different, or things might be in different places, but overall it's the same process. So just go ahead and click New Project, and that's going to come up with this dialog box with some information that you need to type in. Most importantly, on the bottom is the name of your project, so you just type in project name, and then you would browse and choose where you want it to go. So just go through your Finder or your documents in Windows and just decide where you want it to save. The rest of this stuff, nowadays, it doesn't make too much of a difference. If you want your display format to be in frames or in time code or in feet, like if you're actually editing a movie shot on film, you would use one of these. I use time code because this is easiest for me to tell. Like it basically means the timeline is going to be in seconds or minutes, and it's easy to see that way. Audio display format, again, I just do audio samples. Capture, this is for if you shot on tape and you're using digital videotapes or HD digital videotapes, and so that typically you won't use nowadays with all of our digital cameras. The scratch discs, this is where it saves some of like the previews and stuff like that and renders. Don't pay attention to that right this second. That's more advanced. But for right now, you're just going to click OK. You're going to pop up with another dialog box, and this is where you want to title your sequences. So this is something that's really important actually. First, I'm going to go down to the bottom actually and name our sequence. Before, I didn't really pay attention to this, but I found a really good method is to, depending on whatever your project is called, so project name, I usually do this, then I do an underscore or a dash and then V, and then that means whenever you start a new sequence, it's going to automatically have that name, and you can easily add a 1, 2, 3 to change the version to name the new version of the sequence. Or you could do something like sequence 1 or 2 or 3. But this also helps when you are exporting at the end of creating your video. It exports as this name as well, and so it will just export project name V whatever. And so when you export, you'll have all these versions from 1 to however many you make. So name your project there. Coming back up here, this is important. This is available presets. So there are sequence presets, and this is where you have to choose what type of video you're going to be editing. So it's really hard for me there's no right or wrong right here, and I can't tell you, okay, this is what you do, because you really have to know what video type you're using. Are you using a digital SLR such as a Canon 7D or Canon 5D? If you are, you can use this preset digital SLR, and then you have to choose what frame rate and quality you use. Did you shoot in 1080p HD? Did you shoot in 480p? Did you shoot in 720p? And then in each of those, what was your frame rate? 24, 25, 30? Was it something different? And you'll notice that even though it's 24, the frame rate is actually 23,976. And so same for 30, it's 29,997. So don't get confused when the preset only says 24 or 30 and doesn't have the standard 2398 or 2997. So when you click through these, the information pops up here, more information about each preset. And so really you're just going to have to find out what type of video you shot at and use one of these presets. Or you can just go to settings and do it custom. So if you shot on digital SLR, you can choose DSLR, frame size, width, etc. Display format, all this stuff I would leave alone. And yeah, and then this last tab is this tracks. And this is important too. Depending on how many video tracks or audio tracks you think you're going to need, you can always add tracks later, but it's nice to set it up right here. 3 is pretty standard for me, and same with audio. 3 stereo is standard. And you can even save these as a preset if you have a special combination of tracks or settings. So once you set your video type and your sequence name, you'll click OK, and that will open up your new project. That's it for now. That was starting a project in Adobe Premiere Pro. This is Phil Ebner with videoschoolonline.com. Check out the website videoschoolonline.com for great tips, tricks, tutorials, and more. Sign up for our newsletter and you'll get 50% off all my online courses. Check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.